Hello, everybody. October 20th, 19th. Oh my God. Tuesday? I know, I should know better. Pretty sure it's a Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Quick update. Not so quick. As you can see, the time on this video is probably pretty lengthy. Press the ×2 button / fast forward speeder upper button. We're just going to update you guys. It's a pretty big, going to be long-winded video. As a distraction, guess what we're going to be doing today? Woo! We're going to bring it out. This is actually just water. So, that's real. That stuff is what makes my bars absolutely real nice. Real nice and deep black. Oh man, so there she blows. Hopefully it hasn't frozen already. Oh gosh. I had a slight problem with starting the protein bars, seeing as I live out here, as most of you might know or might. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's already hard. As most of you might know, as I'm living out here, there's absolutely no electricity, no heat. So keeping things warm and not keeping things liquid instead of solid, aka I didn't bring it out here, coconut oil, which is obviously the base of my protein bars. It can be difficult because once I start walking to the cabin out here, the bars begin to freeze. But this is okay. So, as you can see, it's clumpy. It's clumpy, but it's technically mixed together, and this is just nuts, seeds, and this stuff. You guys can actually get here. Matter of fact, here. I use all basic nuts and seeds. I buy my nuts and seeds in bulk, and we're talking 10 different varieties. Just the main nuts and seeds that you think of. Everything except for flaxseed, because I know it's higher in omega-6 maybe. And I'm looking for 9 and 3 just to balance out everything else. But we do these guys as well. Check them out. The ingredients are very basic. The only thing I couldn't say I know is, I mean, I know what it is. It's just, I know what it is. Erythritol is what I call it, erythritol. And it's a style of carbohydrate. It's not a great carb. I'd rather just have regular sugar, but I know I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm still questioning the whole erythritol or what are the other like alcohol sugar, right? Like I've been explained what it is. Sugar alcohol. It actually says it right there. You can see that. Sugar alcohol provided by erythritol or whatever it is. I mean, y'all that actually know diet, you could probably follow. If you don't know, I say take my word for it, guys. I'm not a genius nor dietitian, but I have been studying for quite some time. But really basic stuff. I mean, I've mentioned this in videos before. Everything else on this list is normal, except for, I mean, I see natural flavors, so there's gonna be something. But I mean, gosh, man. Good luck making a pure protein bar pure, folks. And not live on a farm, you know? Like, good luck. This is really just for, it makes for a really good crunch, so it has good texture. But just more seeds and nuts, right? Pecans. Pecans are a really big one in this, and I didn't buy pecans. I did buy pecans, but they didn't get shipped to me somehow. But everything else, I've already got sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, coconut chips, almonds, butter, blueberries, freeze-dried blueberries, salt, cinnamon, blah, 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 monk fruit. So yeah, all basic stuff. And each one of these is kind of different, just slightly. But yeah, so I use a little bit of that. I use my basic seeds and my nuts, and so far we're at coconut oil to bind it all together, right? So we're gonna move on from there and keep ourselves distracted with this fun game while we're going through the update, which, as I mentioned, is gonna be pretty crazy. Folks, I'm gonna be homeless. Let's just start with the obvious. I'm gonna be homeless here in about, what's today, 19th? I got about a week and a half. No clue where I'm gonna live. Reason being is that I'm calling it higher standards. God, it could be fear. It could be, let's just break it down to fear, because that's as high as it goes. That's as basic as it gets. What I would be afraid of is being surrounded by those that I'm just not at the same level with, right? So I'm at a very vulnerable state in my point in my life right now, to where I can be very affected by my environment. I can be very influenced by the people around me. And I can get grounded, right, and do everything right and put on a barrier. But I'm not perfect, right? I'm not every single day breath work, meditation, prayer, exercise, cold showers, all these, good habits that we want to, get involved with and keep ourselves on top. I ain't perfect. So I am getting back into the routine. Yes, I am sober. Day 4. Today's probably my first day fasting. I'm not even sure I'm going to go through with it. It's been a while, and I just I have a good reason, obviously. So the main obvious reason is living situation. I need an answer. I fast for one specific reason, and that is to get obviously closer to the higher power, or that guiding spirit, that guiding light, Holy Spirit, the eternal, the blah 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 blah. Right? I need a voice that says, "Do this." Whatever you think it comes from, wherever, blah blah blah, don't really matter to me. When I fast, I've gotten the answers. The reason I'm out here is because of an original fast that I did. If you're following the videos, you'll know that I took my trip out to Shelby County and took care of some things, right? If you don't know, check out my videos back then, maybe 4 months ago, before the Algonquin trip in Canada. Look up April, maybe. It was worth it. It got me out here, and I have been absolutely living on cloud 9 out here. I've had an amazing time. I cannot put it any other way. I've been on cloud 9. It's been amazing. I gotta drop here. Another position is gonna be crappy, but I can't help it. It's been really good. Let's get out some maple syrup, baby. We're gonna do maple. We're gonna do honey. And we're going to do date paste. These bars are absolutely not sugar-free, by the way. I kind of wanted them to be originally, but it just... And I absolutely can. I have stevia, but the date paste really makes it come together. I gotta be honest. Date paste, by the way. By the date, lady. Man, I wish I was... given, I wish I had sponsorships, folks. I could easily make a living off of sponsorships and this stuff. I don't know. I just don't really, it's just not my, I don't know. I'm just not there yet. But I could do things sugar-free. I just choose not to anymore. I don't need it. I really don't. I don't have a need to. I'm not in need of low carb diets. I do enjoy the low carb diet. When it comes to just a strict perfect diet, I love meat and veg. Now that could change via season. I think in the winter I actually do like coming into nuts and seeds and legumes and plant-based diet, so to speak, in the winter. And I think it's just to get more fat in, because obviously wintertime you need a little bit more insulation, so to speak. And it just I don't know if it's just logic, as in I'm using my brain to make sense of what the best diet would be for me to have, or if it's intuition and I've actually felt better with certain things. I'm going to go with the former, which is actually, in my opinion, less useful. In like, knowledge is great, but intuition, I think, is far more powerful as far as your own bodily makeup goes, or your own personal, right? If I'm focusing on myself, then yes, I would rather focus on my intuitive processes versus the knowledge that everyone else has and putting it into my system, right? I'm sorry, I'm down here. I'm just trying to figure out what ingredients I need. I've got honey. I've got maple syrup. I think I've got everything. Peanut butter. There it is. Where is it? I'm pretty sure this could be the last use of my big jug of peanut butter. And no, I'm not a fan of peanut butter. They actually sent me the wrong thing, or maybe I purchased the wrong thing. I wanted almond butter, obviously, just because I'd prefer tree nuts over peanuts. And that's studies based. That's pure studies. I have no idea if it's better for me or not, but I've heard peanuts are just not as beneficial. I'd like to have an actual reason. I just don't need one for myself. Like I said, personally, I like, when it comes to health and nutrition, I'm pure knowledge, and I see how it feels after that, right? So usually start with the peanut butter just to get the bulk of the. Yeah, pretty sure we're gonna be finishing that bad boy right off. Anyway, so I might not have a place to live here. I won't have a place to live here. The camp site that I'm living in is not going to be insured, right? So this obviously has to use insurance to keep the cabins useful. And quite honestly, I don't have knowledge in this, or I don't really understand the whole game. I wish I did. This might be a little too much peanut butter. That's okay. I think I've got maybe, it honestly looks like more than a cup of peanut butter. But this is a much bigger batch than I'm used to. So I'm just going to see how this goes. Stir it up a little bit. The oil has separated, which is okay. That's actually a good thing in my opinion. You don't see that in peanut butters like Jif, because it's just too, the term, but it's just too artificially, not. I know it says natural, but guys, that's so much BS. Like I said, natural flavors, it's not natural. It is, right? So never mind, that's just a different story. We could go into it, but it's like there are sugar flavors from, gosh, I wish I can come up with an example right off the top of my head. My names are a little low, as you may know. As I've said, I'm like 4 days back into sobriety, so my memory is still a little hurt. But there are like natural sugars or natural flavored citric acid, right? There's one. Citric acid is purely natural. It's just not normal to extract it and then reinsert it into food, right? Citric acid comes from either oranges or lemons or a fruit that you would use, and it's calorie free, but it's flavored sugar, right? So you got to do a lot of processing just to make it taste like sugar without it actually being flavorful. I'm just not a big fan of that. So natural flavors is just a term. I don't really care for it. Golly. I think this is okay. I should have brought my coconut. Yeah, this is all right. Usually I'm in for a little bit more liquid. This is really crumbly, but as long as I put enough date paste and peanut butter in it, it should solidify pretty well. So yeah, update. I have been living on cloud nine out here, chopping wood for myself, for the neighbor, cleaning up the whole AO area of operations, just my living area. I'm all on my own. Feels great. I've gotten way more connected with my spiritual side, and well, at one point, I got to be honest, I had such a great vision going, and I know I'm saying had. If you watched my last video, if you watched my most recent video, I was using, obviously substances that I probably shouldn't have been, but it's not like it was a big deal. But I mentioned that I had a big time change, one of which I asked for. I've been asking for some looking for some direction, some guidance, some growth. And if you followed me long enough, you might know. Don't watch this part. I'm just cleaning up the only way I have access to at the moment. My life, folks. My way. I am an expert cleaner. Not really, but I do clean up after myself. But that's because I've learned the hard way that my way of living isn't very clean. So I've had to learn to really clean up after myself. Right? But finally, this thing's empty, so now I could utilize it and use it. Anyway, I had a big change happen. If you didn't see my last video, it is, like I said, it's October, which means the summer gig that I've been working, Camp High, canoe and kayak. I've just been lifting boats, working with, I don't want to say youth, but working with a younger generation of workers, to where I've had the pleasure of stepping into a so-called leadership role, where I can guide and help the business in of itself gain some traction, maybe grow a little bit, and stay consistent in its job. It's not that I'm the only one working. I could not have done it without my group. And it's been awesome. Like the whole summer, like I said, has been really cool. Difficult, nevertheless, but oh my goodness. Dates and peanut butter, man. Who else does this? Oh man, I'm so weird. Anyway, season's come to an end. We got like 4 more days left until the kayak business is closed for the season, and then I move over into winter work, which has been and still is, just drop something, has been and still is snow shoveling. So nighttime work will be coming in pretty soon. It's gonna be great. I really need it to stay busy. Gosh, I'm trying to make a circle around here. I had a secondary job, backup job, as I usually do, right? So the last winter, pretty sure it was last winter. I mean, my timing is so off these days. I don't even think it was last winter. What else did I do besides snow shovel? Son of a gun. But I worked at the mill, right? Garrett's Mill restaurant for some time, about almost 2 years there for a minute, until I decided that it just wasn't the place for me. The restaurant business is right. Cooking is definitely in my blood, or definitely one of my skills slash hobbies. Um, but the management is just I'll be honest, I'm very picky. I'm very, very, very picky with who I surround myself with and who I work with. I'm I'm not on this planet to half ass, even though it may look like it. Like past few days, I've not only half assed my life, but I've been almost non existent, not even close to existing. Like I've just been, and I'm gonna justify it as being sober for the first few days, right? The first few days kind of just suck. So I've kind of had like a negative attitude and just don't really care for things and not really responsive to anybody, not really connecting. But we're getting back out with every single run up the hill that we do. I feel that much better. I'm realizing that I obviously just can't do this on my own, and I just don't know how to plan out my life according to not my will, but God's will, right? I've every single time I use substances, I, just like anybody else, dopamine is dopamine, folks. It's all happy chemicals. When I get dopamine in my head, I get ideas about the future and I get ideas for how to make my life better. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I think what happens is it's more guided via how I want my life to be personally, right? It's based off of my own will rather than God's will. Now, like I said, I've been on cloud nine for the past few months, even though I've been using substances. And more or less, when I do use, or when I used to use heavier, I wasn't happy. I was very depressed and very just down. And if you've been following me for a while, you realize that I took a break for a good 4 months and got reacquainted spiritually, physically, and emotionally. I got much more grounded in myself. Got connected with the church. I've mentioned this already. But anyway, I picked up the job. About 2 weeks ago, and it probably took me about 2 months to actually acquire the job. I had to connect with the owners and talk to people and solidify my position before I could actually work, because I've been working all summer. I couldn't really just drop work and go to another job. I had to finish off the season, obviously. And it was absolutely it was amazing, right? It was one of the jobs that I've been looking to partake in for many years, right? Butcher shop was the job that I had, and I was the local butcher, right? I started learning how to cut meat properly and break it down and serve it to masses. And it's absolutely one of the skills that I've always wanted to learn, until yours truly, character, until your friendly neighborhood wizard, my personality got the best of me. I wasn't using anything. I wasn't on anything. But put me in an environment that I really enjoy, and it's just difficult for me to stay or keep that so-called stoic personality, right? Especially in a work environment. It's one thing to have a flamboyant, creative, verbose. That was the term that got me in trouble. But a very verbose attitude when you're, just you in life, not necessarily in church or at work or in front of the family. Family's different. But when you're at work, when I'm at work, it's it's important to maintain a very level-headed attitude, a very good positive attitude, but a very grounded attitude, one that people can rely on and trust and respect. And I think trust is a good one there. If your coworkers can't trust you, like, what good are you? It's just not very helpful. And at one point, I had an accident that caused someone to be put in technically physical pain. They were okay and everything, but it just wasn't a good. Dude, there's so much. I kind of want to heat this up. Man, I wish dang it. I should have heated this up. It's so cold. So the date paste is good. I'll get back to it. Don't worry. I'm not lost. This is going to be so hard to, this is going to be so difficult. I tried so hard. So hard. It's good. Yeah, I let my personality get the best of me. I totally blame it on what I consider like a hangover, right? Most people say that there's not like a hangover when you're using things like cannabis. Alcohol is obviously a different. My gosh, I just found Gracie. Hang on, stop. My goodness, this freaking dog, man. Don't worry. I love doggies. I just don't like ownership or responsibility, for that matter. God forbid somebody quotes me on that one. I said I don't like, doesn't mean I'm not. I don't even know where I was. I know, I'll get back to it. We'll get back to it, don't worry. You might hear her walking around, which means I'm going to have to clean up again because she's been moseying around the entire 100 acres of land that we have. By the way, I have till about 4 o'clock, which means I got about a half hour to finish this off because I've got a Zoom call. Babe, I got nothing for you, babe. Food's at home. This isn't your home. I want it to be, but it can't be. This is going to be awesome. I love this part. I love this date paste. It's exactly what I need to solidify this with. Now the peanut butter is actually pretty well. If you'll notice, I gotta add everything else first, like cinnamon and honey. So this is obviously way more. Whatever it's supposed to be more of, it's way more. But we are far from done. This is a good 3 weeks of protein bars. This may even get me by in a month. I eyeball everything. So when you're about to see, don't follow my lead. Technically, you shouldn't be following any of this because this is my recipe. TM, mother effers. 1 ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces, 4 ounces. I've got quite a bit left. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to. Did I eat anything yet? I just licked the bottle. Technically, there's sugar in here. Yeah, that doesn't really count for me. 4 ounces is probably around 80 grams of sugar. This whole container will probably come up to about 600 grams of sugar. I'm sorry. No, not what I meant to say. Yeah, actually, no. 100. I'm thinking 100 from maple syrup, 100 grams from honey, and maybe 2 I would assume 200 grams from the date paste, which is about 400. I also use the yogurt with the square bars, which... Did you puke? Oh my God. Unbelievable, brah. You just puked. You're killing me, baby. You're absolutely killing me. Gosh. About 400 grams of sugar, but that's obviously, like I said, over the course of a month. So do your math on that one. 10 grams of sugar a day? Sounds pretty lean to me. Yes, please sit down on my lovely carpet. All clean and everything. So I had a job and I lost it from poor groundedness. I completely blame myself for not being I blame myself for not... We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually that was like 3. Kind of plopped out there pretty fast, but there we go. Yeah. Ready? So we're in a cabin, which means there are... I gotta be honest, I've had no problems with animals. Mice are about it. Good luck getting mice out of something like this. They can get inside. Could really care less. The chipmunks, I believe, are the ones making all the noise at night. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's see what we come to here. I kind of do need to put in the cinnamon and stevia still. I don't know how I'm going to test this while being fasted. I don't need to take huge... Oh, this is just gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The dates are going to solidify this to perfection. Yeah, this is good. Oh! Yeah. So anyway, I have been going at this. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. It's hard to make updates if I'm thinking that nobody's watched any of the videos. So I feel like I'm repeating myself time and time again, which is true. But if you've never seen any of the videos, I kind of have to. I'm going to go cinnamon. We're actually going to do the big side. We're just going to go... Pretty sure there's cinnamon all up in this biah. That's actually quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, but cinnamon's awesome. Cinnamon's really makes this stuff pop. Oh, I didn't even show you guys. So these are what I use. And these are pretty simple. I don't have the package for you, but they're very simple. This is the solidified version of this, essentially, right? Nuts and seeds, folks. Nuts and seeds. It's that simple. And then it's solidified. I'm not even sure how they solidify it. I'd have to check one of the packages. But, yeah, it's this with the maple yogurt and one of my bars. Homie, you could build an army off of this stuff. I shit you not. That's how big it is. That's how important it is. So stevia, I'm just gonna put whatever I want to. I mean, I don't know if you can get, yes, you can get too sweet. But I'll be honest, those 4 tablespoons of stevia. I know I'm not finishing many of my sentences, but there's just so much, and obviously I'm not completely in the right mind frame as I'm just getting over some things. So I've been battling, folks. I really have been. No. I have not been battling. And up until recently. Like, this whole summer has been awesome. And then all of a sudden, I pray for change. And then boom. I get fired from probably one of the best jobs that I could ask for. And when I say best jobs, what I mean is the best places. It had great workers. Everybody's personality or everybody's character, everybody's demeanor, everybody's standards are actually relatively on point, and that's because the owners are on point. And I was very happy to be in that place. I actually had thoughts of being able to hook myself up with one of the coworkers that have so-called spare rooms. He actually has a camper that I was hoping to live out of this winter, so I can actually have a place to live. But I feel like I may have burned a bridge, or all of them, and I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about my living situation. It's hilarious. And you guys are the first to know. I haven't really told this to anybody. You guys. My camera is the first to know. But yeah, who cares? So, pretty sure that's it. Man, I feel like there's so many more ingredients. I've really perfected this. I say so because I've only added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used to have to add everything individually. But not no more. I'm all up here. Anyway, this isn't a humongous update. I know it's not great. I'm just, I know I needed to make an update to let the world be known that, that's just wrong. Let the world know that I'm still fighting, man. I thought I had it. I thought I had it all. It's so funny because, don't worry, I washed my hands. In Elliot's program, he calls it tripping. You know, you're on cloud 9. You're on cloud 9, you think you've got everything made. You think you've got it all. You think it's all. I should just use half. I think you got it all figured out and everything's ready. Just when you think everything's right. That's just crazy. Let me see how much this really is. Servings, 26 servings. That means there's 26 tablespoons. Let's say I use probably a little more than half, quite honestly. That's 13 times 14. Yeah, that's around 200. 12 times 12 is 144, plus an extra. Yeah, about 200 grams. Nice. It's including the more than half. I probably should. I should probably just use half. I'm gonna do one of these. So. Yeah, let's get rid of maybe 4 tablespoons worth. Put that bad boy away. All right, I don't know how I'm gonna. Look at that blade right in. You wanna know how I got these scars? Mm. 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 Oh no, he's not fasting anymore. Oh man, I could care less. That's going to be my best attribute once I make it online. I don't care what anybody says. Put it on my record. I want to take people's advice. I want to take people's advices, but I want to take it with a grain of salt. So this is going to take me some time. I'm going to try my best to stay distracted. I have no place to live, folks. I'm going to be out of a house. I don't know what to do. I'm just so distraught. I'm coming to you guys. I'm coming to you in hopes that you guys can provide a place. How about that? That'll be hilarious. First person to watch this video will probably be next season. Anyway, so life is good. I'm still doing good spiritually. I am 100% back in touch with like my spirit, right? I can connect and not smite the universe because of a difficulty or a downfall that I would consider in my life. Things just happen, and when things go bad, it's like, wait a minute, God's will, man. It's all up to Him. I may have made a mistake or two, but I can't blame anyone but myself. There are a lot of spiritual questions godly questions that people ask, and don't agree with, as far as the way I do things. I'm not even going to go into them. It's just too much. One of those being, I've always thought of this one. God takes all the, let's say if something good happens in your life, it's because of God. If something bad happens in your life, it's because of you. That one always kind of struck a chord, but it's like, once you kind of understand what it really means, it's like, yeah, you only have problems you can't handle because you are trying to handle them on your own. Even if you're praying still, it's like, it's just not, there's a focusing inward that a lot of people do, and that's where they get hung up. That's where I get hung up, is thinking that all I have to do is pray and everything's okay, maybe. But that's not it. I've got to fully let go and not be stressed, or not stressed. Stress is more normal, but not be depressed and anxious. Depression, focusing on the past. Anxiety, focused on the future. The purpose is really just to be focused in on the present and be happy no matter what happens. Oh man, it's not bad. So this is kind of precisely what I want. It's just one big block, and it's very hard. It's not solidified, as in it's not like if I wanted this to be one solid, I'd have to mold it like a snowball. And that's kind of what I'm going to do here. What I'm going to do is lay it out on this tray and push it down and slice and dice. Man, I don't have a spatula, so good luck to me. I am fully putting my trust that I will be guided out of this situation. I do see it getting extremely difficult. I see myself living out of my vehicle. I see myself, what I'm planning on doing, just to act like I'm trying to do something, what I'm looking to do is rent a storage unit. So put everything I own in a storage unit, and I know I probably can't live out of it, but put everything in a storage unit and just live out of my vehicle during the winter. Not a great idea. Way better than being depressed and anxious or overly stressed because of my surroundings. And I know that's what I am prone to do. Like I'll get mad at things that are outside of my control, right? I think most of us can kind of understand that that's maybe a common theme for some people, and me for sure. And I cannot risk putting not just my life in a wrong place, in the wrong area, but putting other people's lives at risk. Like, I know when I am not being of a positive influence to certain people around me, and I don't like that. I hate when I'm just like this negative person because of someone else's this or that. It's just not good. It's not a good attitude, and I just would prefer to be alone, quite honestly, at least until I can fix my attitude, fix my perspective on life, and really upgrade. I know at my age I should be so on top of my game. I should be so on top of life. You know, I should have my own place. I should have this. Not should as in I'm comparing, because it could sound like I'm comparing. Maybe I am, but it's not in the way. We all set goals for ourselves. I don't like moving backwards, and if I go back to where I was, living-wise, I'll just get stressed out. I need to move upwards. I need to move. I need to get out, do something different. I know that didn't go very far. Son of a gun. Yeah, this is probably like 4 calories. Probably like 6 calories, maybe 2. So, we're going to do one of these. I guess I'm done. Yeah, I'm done stirring. My forearms are killing me. Not really. I do have 2 forearms. I've not mastered my left arm stirring. I can do a lot with my left hand. Left arm. Play sports, left-handed. But when it comes to like just the hand and forearm, like this motion, this stirring motion, I haven't gotten it yet. Like I could do this really fast somehow. But I'm not much for my left. I used to be ambidextrous. So watch how slowly this starts to form. And you could just watch this kind of just, yeah. Whoa. Do 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 do. So once this solidifies, it'll be basically rock hard. Not maybe rock hard, but it's it's not rock hard. It's actually, gosh, I'll be honest, it is pretty close. It's this consistency. You can see me squeezing it with enough force. It's that level of consistency with crunch, right? So there are the nuts and seeds. It's a great consistency. I've almost perfected it. I can't eat that. That's too much. So, yeah. Look at us go, folks. Oh, that's a whole lot of date. So yeah, we might be stirring here for a little more. Oh man, look at that stinking date mound. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. We're looking at almost an hour. I think I have a Zoom call here in a bit. So I'm going to get you guys out of here. Yeah. Live expressively, folks. God loves you. Peace. And this is just going to be to show you a finishing product. Hi. As you can see, it's extremely... There it is. I keep it nice and flat. I have to see. Yeah, that's not very pretty. But yeah, that's our protein bar. Pretty big. Right? That should last us a good... a week or two. I'm just kidding. Actually, about half this pan lasted us a week. 5 days in Algonquin, Canada, when we actually went out of the country and went on our little expedition journey. And yeah, this guy lasted maybe 5 days. But yeah, quite the energy producer, I would say. Anyway, live expressively, eat expressively. Peace.